In this video, I'm going to take this piece of cherry and turn it into a vase. I think you're going to enjoy this one. You might even learn some new techniques along the way. But hey, let me introduce myself. My name is Frank Perrone, and my passion is wood turning. So here I have the blank in between two centers. I test it to make sure it's balanced, it's ready to go. Here I'm using my carbide cutter to start to give it a shape. You can see how it's bouncing around a lot because there's a lot of high and low spots. So I come in with a 1/8 inch parting tool and I'm looking to make a tenon on the end so I can reverse chuck the piece. Now with the piece reverse chucked, I'm starting to give it the shape. I'm not really sure how I'm going to shape this. So as I keep moving along, I remember how the tree was. There's a lot of different branches coming in and out, so I want to accentuate those pieces. So here's the tree with the crotch section, and this is the design I came up with. Now let's move on to coring it out. I use my steady rest because there's a lot of torque going on here. I'm using a 1.5 inch Forstner bit to core it out, and then I'll move up to a 2¼ inch. There's a lot of heat here and a lot of sawdust inside this hole. So I come in with some compressed air to blow it out, and I keep going in slowly. Okay, now I come in and give it a nice shave on the inside with my carbide tipped cutter to give it a funnel look. As you can see, I have the lip on the outer edge of the vase. I was going to put a lid over that lip, but then eventually I went for a design change. I removed the lip and I have the lid so it fits inside of a recess. Here I'm working on a piece of leftover cherry from the project, and I'm shaping the top part of the lid. Give it a nice convex shape on top. Then I come in with my parting tool to sharpen the edge to give it a nice sharp. I also raised up the speed. Yeah, it looks good. There's the shape. So now I come in, I remove the little lip on the edge, and I come in with the 1/8 inch parting tool to start to make the recess that will receive the lid. Then I come with the carbide cutter and give it a nice funnel shape on the inside. I had to test the lid a few times to make sure that it fit correctly. Here's the first fit. Still a little loose, but I fixed it. Now I reverse chuck the whole piece, and I'm using my 1/8 inch parting tool to bring down the tenon. I just sharpened this tool so it's making nice clean cuts. This part is always a little dangerous because you never know what's going to happen. I have the speed of the video going a little fast, but I had this thing down to about 600 RPMs. So here it's a little hard to see, but the bottom of the vase has a concave shape. This way, when it sits on a table, the rim sits on the table. It's a nice look. Now when I get down this close, I come with it's a very, very small parting tool. This is 1/8 inch parting tool. The other one I have is probably like a 1/16 of an inch. You'll see it, it's coming up soon. That's also very sharp. Here's the smaller Robert Sorby parting tool. This gets it really, really close. And nice clean cut. Very sharp tool. Now I remove the tool rest. Give it a little bit more sanding. This is 220 grit sandpaper. And knock off that sharp edge. Okay. Now I come in with a Japanese saw, rotate the piece, and make a nice cut. It'll leave a little nub on the bottom. I'll come in with a very, very sharp chisel later on and clean it off really nice and smooth, and then give it another little quick sanding with 220 grit sandpaper. I'm very happy with the way the piece turned out at this point. Now I have the piece outside, and I'm going to use my blowtorch on it. I'm going to accent the top edge all around the lid, and that top edge all the way up on the top, especially at the little part, and then around this little recessed area here in the middle. I love this part. Then along the bottom edge. And I'll just give it a general burning around the lighter parts to give it some color. And it really accents the pieces where the branches were coming out from the crotch area. After this is done, I'll gently move it to another location and try not to smudge any of the burnt portions. And then I'm going to give it a light spray with spar varnish just to seal it. Now, like I said, I have it moved to a different location, and I'm using Hellsman spar varnish, semi-gloss, just to seal it. I'll give it a nice heavy coat.